Ladies, I am here tonight on this show. How's everybody doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm super late. I know it's like 1:30 in the morning. Um, I apologize. But anyways, let's get this shit started. And the first thing I want to do tonight, before we get started, is um, I do want to thank, let's see if I can, Abib Matan. He donated $2 yesterday. First time I got donated in a long time. So thank you to Habib Matan. I believe that's how you say your last name, Matan. Thank you for the $2 donation, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know that was the first time I got donated in a while, man. Anyways, I appreciate Hayub Matan. I don't know how you pronounce your first name, and I beg you pardon. But thank you, Matan, for the $2 donation last night. But let's get ready, man. NFL, man. Let's get this shit going. We'll work ourselves around college football, then. We'll go around the National Basketball Association, MLB. And let's have a fun podcast here tonight on a Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's go. Probably going to be a bunch of injuries for the NFL, a bunch of injury updates here tonight on a Saturday night on NFL Eve. Let's see here. Broncos Jerry Jeudy listed as questionable for Sunday night due to a rib and shoulder injury. Is on track to play versus 49ers, but wants to see how it feels pregame warm-ups. Per sources, Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain questionable due to a shoulder injury, is expected to play. All right, some good news for the damn Broncos, man. Cardinals running back James Conner listed as questionable for Sunday due to an ankle injury. Will test it pregame, but is on track. Excuse me. I had a Popeyes, whatever the fuck it's called, and then I had a Whataburger, man. Let's see. Yeah, so he's on track to play. James Conner from the Cardinals. Alvin Kamara from the Saints listed as questionable for Sunday due to a rib injury, is expected to play versus the Panthers. Okay. A lot of injuries for the Bills, man. Safety Jordan Poyer questionable, and I don't think he's playing. Yeah, he's not playing, Jordan Poyer, and the whole secondary is not playing for the Bills. It's crazy, man. Especially after what Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill did last week to Baltimore. So yeah, but Michael Hyde, yeah, both Jordan Poyer and Michael Hyde are not expected to play for the Buffalo Bills tomorrow night. Let's see how Tua Tagovailoa coming up a 6 touchdown over 400 yards performance with, I believe, both Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle going for 11 catches and 2 touchdowns. So let's see if they're able to take advantage once again of that Bills second string secondary tomorrow night. Brett Favre, man, Jesus Christ, man. They're saying that he asked for money to, and I reported this story again, but they're saying that he was forcing the Mississippi governor to give him $5 million to build the new volleyball court for Mississippi University. That's where his daughter goes. But yeah, I mean, this guy has a net worth, I think, of over $100 million. And Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the country. I think they're having like a water shortage. And this guy's asking for $5 million when this guy has over $100 million. Yeah, man. Some people are saying that it's illegally. I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna go to jail for this. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, I guess. But I don't know. He's not even playing anymore, so I don't know. But I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, won a Super Bowl, so. Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins, who tore his ACL, MCL, meniscus, and hamstring last year, and is questionable for Sundays, expected to make his 2022 regular season debut. It's time, as one source has said. J.K. Dobbins, man, it's amazing. Same thing with David Bakhtiari, the left tackle from the Packers. I think last time he played was like almost 2 years, and now he's gonna play. These ACL injuries are cruel, man. There it is. David Bakhtiari, listed as questionable for Sunday due to a lingering knee issue, is expected to make his 2022 regular season debut. Bakhtiari's back, man. Titans officially placed left tackle Tyler Long on injured reserve. Titans also evaluate George Gordon and offensive lineman Jordan Ruse to their active roster. So yeah, man, let's see here. And then the Broncos, man, a lot of head coach Nathaniel Hackett has hired former Ravens assistant head coach special teams coordinator Jerry Rusberg as a senior assistant to help him with game day decisions. Yeah, man, this is not a good sign. I think this is the Broncos front office saying Nathaniel Hackett is kind of lost out there, and they hire this guy to kind of like try to help him out, man. Literally, it says right there to help him with game day decisions. So yeah, Nathaniel Hackett, man. Man, his first two games have not been very impressive. So yeah, that's not a good sign. I don't think. I mean, maybe in the future, they won't make as much stupid decisions with this hiring, but not a good sign that you have to hire a guy to help him make decisions. Yeah, reports coming out this week that Nathaniel Hackett, that he made Brett Favre smile and played like poker with him, and a lot of people are wondering, how much, what did Nathaniel Hackett do for the Packers? His title was offensive coordinator. That people were saying that the head coach Matt LaFleur was doing all the offense. I apologize to my good friend Colby Albertson, but hopefully not, man. But Nathaniel Hackett might be a pendejo, man. Colby Albertson, I have a lot of respect for you, man, but I'm not a psychologist, buddy. I have to say the truth. It's 2 games, but so far Nathaniel Hackett looks like a pendejo. Anyway, Leonard Fournette and Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore were each fined $13,000 for unnecessary roughness. You're going off to the fight last week between the Buccaneers and the Saints. Let's see here, more stuff. Giants rolled out wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson for Monday Night Football. Dallas rolls out so both wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney, and then defensive lineman Leonard Williams are all out. Damn, that sucks. Or Leonard Williams is questionable, I guess. I don't know. Packers play Sammy Watkins on injured reserve. Damn. And then the Buccaneers evaluate wide receiver Cole Beasley to their active roster from their practice squad. Yeah, he's going to be activated, man. Mike Evans is not going to play. He's suspended. Chris Godwin is hurt. And Julio Jones is questionable. So outside of Scotty Miller and I guess now Cole Beasley, not a lot of options for Tom Brady. It's going to have to be like New England when he had Danny Amendola and freaking Julian Edelman, 2 small wide receivers, and Cole Beasley and Scotty Miller. Ravens downgrade Ronnie Stanley out for Sunday game in New England. Damn, that's our left tackle, man. Let's see here. And that's about it, man. Just a bunch of injuries, man. A bunch of injury updates. Let's go to college football now. And then we'll make our way back to the National Basketball Association. So, man, this college football was better this week. We didn't get a marquee game like freaking Oklahoma versus Texas. Ohio State versus Michigan. Alabama versus Georgia. We didn't get that marquee matchup. But what we did get is a lot more better college games, more competitive. We got more upsets, much better week. Last week was terrible, so this week was better. We start off, Georgia beats Kent State 39-22. So kind of close if you ask me for Kent State, man. 39, that's not that bad. Michigan 34-27 versus Maryland, a lot closer than people thought. Clemson overtime 51-45 over Wake Forest, man. Penn State 33 versus Central Michigan 14. Baylor 31-24 versus Iowa State. Pittsburgh 45-24 versus Rhode Island. Tennessee 38-33 versus Florida. I thought Florida was going to win that game, man. And then here's the first upset. Texas Tech upsets Texas 37-34, man. First upset of the day. And then after that, we got Mizzou beats Miami 45-31. Oregon's playing a lot better football lately, man. They got smashed in that first game versus Georgia, but I think they've improved to, I believe now 3-1. They're all the way to 15 in the country. They beat Washington State 44-41, man. They've been playing better football lately. Ole Miss beats Tulsa 35-27. Kentucky beats Northern Illinois 31-23. Another upset, Texas A&M upsets Arkansas 23-21. This game, man, freaking Arkansas had a really bad luck in this game, man. Freaking, they fumbled in the fucking goal line, and then the fucking, they're trying to tackle the Texas A&M player, and he just fucking hands it off to his teammate, and he just fucking runs it almost 100 yards for a touchdown. And then fucking the fucking kicker misses a field goal. It hits the top of the fucking post, and then it just bounces out, man. Man, Arkansas had a lot of bad luck in this game, man. A lot of bad luck for Arkansas, man. Jesus Christ. Pendejo face for Arkansas, man. But they lose. They were the number 10 team in the country. They lose to the number 23 team in the country, Texas A&M. Alabama beats Vanderbilt 55-53. Ohio State beats Wisconsin 52-21. Wisconsin, I guess they're not having a good season. They're not even ranked. They got smashed. North Carolina State beats UConn 41-10. And another upset here, man. Kansas State beats Oklahoma 41-34, man. All that fucking talk about fucking Fred Venable in Oklahoma having finally having a defense. But not today, man. Not fucking today. They could not stop Adrian Martinez, man. They had no answer for Adrian Martinez, man. He threw for 234 yards, and then he also ran for 148 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he had a total of 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing and one throwing touchdown. Adrian Martinez was unbelievable tonight for Kansas State, man. He really was, man. And they upset the number 6 team in the country, 41-34. Damn. USC survives versus Oregon State 17-14. Another close game. BYU 38-24 versus Wyoming. Utah 34-13 versus Arizona State. And Washington 40-22 versus Stanford. So a lot more closer games. We have some upsets like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas losing. Then we have teams like USC, Tennessee, Burley surviving. A much more exciting week of college football, man. Much better than last week. We didn't have the crazy upsets, right? That we did 2 weeks ago, where we had fucking Marshall beat Notre Dame, and we had Appalachian State beat Texas A&M. But still, some good upsets there. Like I said, Kansas State beating Oklahoma, Texas Tech beating Texas. It was good. Good week of college football, much better than last week. It was fun. It was a fun week of college football, man. Let's go back to the National Basketball Association. The Cleveland Cavaliers extend Dean Wade to a 3-year, $18 million extension. So Dean Wade will remain with the Cavaliers. Let's see here. Same thing with C.J. McCollum. He signed a 2-year, $64 million extension. So congratulations to C.J. McCollum, man. C.J. McCollum's also the president of the Player Association, man. So he gets a new contract of 2 years, $64 million. And that's about it for the National Basketball Association. Still a lot of free agents out there. And then we got more news. Colton Johnson from the Spurs has suffered a dislocated right shoulder, will miss the start of training camp, and is expected to return to the start of the season. For fucking Colton Johnson, already hurt for the fucking San Antonio Spurs, man. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ, man. Alright, let's go to the Major League Baseball. At this point, all we're waiting for is Aaron Judge when he breaks the single-season record of home runs for New York Yankee. That's all we're waiting for, man. A lot of people complaining today, and this just tells you how bad baseball is now, that during the college football games, they were showing Aaron Judge at bats. A lot of people were not happy with that. That's not a good sign for baseball. That means a lot of people are not into baseball anymore, man. Jesus Christ, man. Man, baseball. And that's not even like your average team. That's the fucking New York Yankees. And people were still complaining about it, man. A lot of people were like, we don't want to watch this shit. We're here to watch college football. We don't care about Aaron Judge and his home run record. That was crazy to me, man, a little bit. Um, but let's see here. Not really much. Tony La Russa's out for the season, probably out for the forever. Miguel Cairo will continue to be the White Sox interim manager for the rest of the year. Then we got this news. Luis Castillo has agreed to a 5-year, $108 million extension with the Seattle Mariners. So Luis Castillo gets fucking a big contract right before the playoffs. Seattle most likely headed to the playoffs this year. So congratulations to Luis Castillo, man. Yeah, so that's about it, man. Luis Castillo, man, getting that extension from Seattle, and Tony La Russa out for the year. Miguel Cairo will be the interim manager for the White Sox. Let's talk about wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a Saturday. Before we do call it a night here tonight. Let me get out my SmackDown. Let me get out my freaking my cheat sheet here to make sure I go I don't forget anything that happened on SmackDown this week. As the professional that I am. Well, let's see here. Let me make sure this is the right one, though. All right. So first, let's talk about some news. Not a lot of news, but we'll talk a little bit of news, and then we'll head over to the recap. All right. Jesus Christ, man. So pretty much Malachi Black gets his release, and like they've been saying, he wasn't very happy with the creative. Apparently, they promised him some stuff, and they didn't fulfill his promises, so that was part of the frustration he had, and he got released. And apparently, he really wants to go back to WWE. Obviously, I believe his girlfriend or his wife, I don't know if they're married or not, Selena Verga, is in WWE. So I guess he's trying to go back to WWE. Bobby Fish, who's also gone from AEW now, he apparently, I'm going to have to sit down, man. I think I have diarrhea. Anyways, from having cheeseburgers and Popeyes fried chicken, they're saying that Bobby Fish asked for his release, and he tried to convince Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly to all go back to WWE. But I think the biggest problem is that they said no. Both Kyle O'Reilly's fucked, man. He broke his neck. He's gonna be out for a while. And then I think what happened with Adam Cole is his girlfriend Britt Baker's in AEW, so he wants to stay with his girlfriend Britt Baker. Just like Malachi Black wants to go back to WWE to be with his girlfriend Selena Verga. Same thing. I think Adam Cole's like, my girlfriend is here, Britt Baker. I want to stay here. But apparently he tried to convince them to also ask for the release, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, and go back to WWE. And then apparently he ended up going back to, he ended up actually appearing at TNA Impact last night. Which I think that means that probably WWE had no interest in him, because maybe they told him, if you can convince to bring along Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, we'll sign you all three back and you can be the Undisputeds again. But if you're not, we're not interested in having you here alone. So maybe that's what happened, man. Maybe he tried to convince them, they said no, and then they weren't interested, and he just ended up going to TNA Impact instead. And apparently WWE is also interested in FTR. So obviously FTR kind of pissed off right now that the Acclaim got the tag team titles instead of them, because they've been the number one team ranked for like since May. So, and I think they're very good friends with Edge. And you guys saw last year there was a storyline with Seth Rollins and Edge, and Seth Rollins broke into Edge's house. And I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but Edge was on the phone. He told, I'm gonna tell Packer and Bluser to go to my house and kick Seth Rollins out of there. Apparently, those are FTR's real names in real life. So Edge kind of said that to remind the WWE, hey, these guys are all, like they exist, FTR. So I guess there's been reports that FTR would also be interested in going back to WWE. Now apparently WWE has interest too. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. But apparently WWE interested in a lot of wrestlers. Apparently there's more wrestlers from AEW that are also interested in going to WWE. Today I believe MJF and Liv Morgan posted a picture together. I think they were like in a party for somebody. And yeah, so a lot of shit going on, man. A lot of shit going on. A lot of people saying don't be surprised in the next 6 months you have a lot of AEW people in WWE. And they're saying that as far as the Young Bucks go and Kenny Omega, they don't know when they're going to be back. And people thought that because they're the vice presidents, they would still get some type of information. And they said they're in the dark. They're not getting any information of what's going on in AEW. And they don't know. They're suspended indefinitely. And people are not sure when both the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega will be back in AEW. As far as for CM Punk, they're negotiating a contract buyout that would release him, and he will never be back on AEW. But the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, man, it's been what, like 2 to 3 weeks now, and they still suspended, man. And as of right now, there's no timetable for the suspensions to be lifted, man. That is crazy, man. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's do SmackDown recap here tonight on a Saturday, and then we get out of here to get ready for some NFL tomorrow night. So we start off Raw with the Trifle Chief, Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline. It was kind of funny, everybody said, kind of like the promo they should have done about 3 weeks ago after Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre at Cardiff Wells at Clash of the Castle. But of course, because Roman Reigns is a part-timer, so he pretty much talks about it, and they talked about how it was the elder members of the Bloodline that sent Solo Sikoa to help Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns is like, but now you answer to me, and he makes them acknowledge him. Solo Sikoa grabs the microphone, and he's like, I acknowledge you as my Trifle Chief. And then they hug. He gives a shout out to the Usos, for what they've done with the tag team division. They're dominated. Same thing with Paul Heyman. And then, they're about to leave, the music hits, and then Sami Zayn's like, excuse me, I would like to say something too. And then I think he tells him, I would say I also acknowledge you as my Trifle Chief, and shit like that. And then Roman Reigns is like, why are you even talking, man? Why are you even tagging along with us? What is your deal? And then Sami Zayn looks like a pendejo. And then he tells him, in fact, I want you to take that shirt off, and I don't want you to wear that shirt ever again. He's wearing the Bloodline shirt. And because they all came out with new Bloodline shirts, and Sami Zayn still has the old one. So like, take it off, and he won't take it off. So fucking Jey Uso just fucking rips it off. And then he's like, I never want to see you wearing that shirt again. And Sami Zayn was looking like a pendejo. And then he's like, because I got you a new one. And it says the honorary Us. And so, he gets all excited. All the people cheer. And then he hugs Roman Reigns. And he tells him, I acknowledge you. And then Roman Reigns kind of doesn't know what to do, but then he ends up hugging him back. People cheer. And I guess that's the way of, Sami Zayn is officially part of the Bloodline. They walk away. But yeah, people thought that was going to be the moment where they were going to finally turn their back on Sami Zayn, but they didn't, man. Still like divided, right? It's like Jimmy and Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns like them, but Paul Heyman and Jey Uso are not so sure about it, right? Later on the night, there's a segment with Madcap Moss, and Ricochet, and they're kind of making fun of Sami Zayn. And then I know where Solo Sikoa comes and beats the shit out of both of them. And they made Madcap Moss and Ricochet look like pendejos. And that's pretty much saying, I have your back, man. So yeah, pretty much I think what they told us with all of this was that officially Sami Zayn is part of the Bloodline. But yeah, man, then we get the fucking
The first match, it was Liv Morgan versus Lacey Evans. I thought this whole match, Lacey Evans was kind of fucking dominating, man. And then at the end, fucking, she pulls a candlestick, and Liv Morgan counters. He hits her with the finisher. Liv Morgan wins the match. And then after the match, she's kind of hesitating. Do I want to hit her with the candlestick or not? And then she ends up hitting her with a candlestick. And then she throws her outside the ring, gets the table out from underneath, and goes to the top rope and puts her through a table. It was kind of cool. I don't know, man. I mean, is she going to be Ronda Rousey again? Jesus Christ, man. I wonder where they're going with this, man. Wonder where the hell they're going with all this shit. Let's see here. Then we get the Max Metal Models versus the New Day. I don't know why the fuck this match. I guess the big story here is Max Dupree gets super pissed off after the New Day wins, and he walks away. He takes his jacket off and he just walks away. He gets pissed, especially because what's her name? The girl's name, Maxine Dupree, is taking pictures, and Monse and Mashru are fucking posting in the middle of the match, and they're getting distracted. So Max Dupree got mad at them because they're not focusing the match. So I don't know where they're going with that, man. Who cares? And then we get this match: Braun Strowman versus Otis, man. Otis, oh fuck, man. I'll say this match was a little bit better than I thought. They gave Otis a little bit more offensive time. At times it looked like Otis was actually gonna fucking win this. But then obviously there at the end, Braun Strowman wins. But it was a much better match than I thought, I'm not gonna lie. And then fucking Drew McIntyre comes out. He's on the microphone. And he challenges Karrion Kross to a strap match. And Karrion Kross then comes out. First Scarlett comes out through the ramp. And then Karrion Kross tries to attack him. But this time McIntyre's ready. McIntyre starts beating the shit out of Karrion Kross. And then fucking Scarlett throws a fireball at him. And so, Drew McIntyre kind of, he acted like he was hurt, but not really. And then he just continued to beat Karrion Kross. So then Scarlett just hit him in the balls. Finally, he gets down. Karrion Kross puts him in that submission hold again. And he starts trash talking him. He's like, "This is exactly what I wanted, man. You got in my trap, man. I'll accept your match at Extreme Rules." So, I mean, I don't know. It was weird. I think they came back from commercial and they showed the replay, and they said she missed the fireball. That's why McIntyre wasn't as hurt. That was kind of weird how she threw a fireball at him, but he didn't really get hurt. That was kind of weird. But anyways, whatever. So it was a strap match: Karrion Kross versus McIntyre for Extreme Rules. And then we get Damage Control: Dakota Kai versus Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez ends up fucking winning the match. Kind of a fast match. Shotzi interferes. But yeah, whatever. And then we get the main event. The tag team champions are on the line versus the Brawling Brutes, Rich Holland and Butch, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Good match. There were some times where it looked, obviously I didn't think they were going to win, but there were a few times where it looked like the Brawling Brutes were going to win. At the end, the Imperium comes in, they interfere, they provide the distraction, and leads to the Usos winning the match. They retain the championships. A lot of people are saying now it's going to be a triple threat match at Extreme Rules. Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes versus the Usos for the tag team champions. Maybe in a ladder match or something. I wouldn't mind a ladder match. I guess this show was better just because you had fucking Roman Reigns in there. I think when you have Roman Reigns in there, in a way it protects Drew McIntyre, because then McIntyre can just be like, You know, it's like the Wayne Wade, right? Well, you know, he's a good, but he's not super good. So when you put Shaq or LeBron with him, he would win championships. When you had him by himself, he would kind of sucked or just be average. Same thing, I feel McIntyre, when you put Roman Reigns in the show with him, then McIntyre just feels good because it's like, oh, I'm not the main guy. Roman Reigns is the main guy. So his stuff with Karrion Kross is like, okay, it's like the secondary storyline, and it's more acceptable. Where when Roman Reigns is not there, it's like McIntyre has to carry the whole show. And then you got, you know, who he's doing with Karrion Kross right now, who a lot of people are still trying to get to know Karrion Kross, right? Especially if you don't watch NXT, you're not sure the hell who he is yet. So, but now with Roman Reigns being the main character, then, you know, it's easier for Drew McIntyre to just be the second character, and it's easier, I think. It makes us care more about the McIntyre storyline with Karrion Kross, I think. As far as Roman Reigns goes, I mean, the Logan Paul match in November, that's like almost 2 months away. Who knows when the next time we'll see Roman Reigns? I mean, he's not gonna. It looks like he's not gonna have a match at Extreme Rules. I don't know, man. I don't know. They barely mentioned Logan Paul. This was more about like almost like accepting Sami Zayn into the bloodline more than anything. Yeah, I mean, who knows? It looks like they're gonna go back probably next week, not to having Roman Reigns on. Man, if Roman Reigns can just come in and do a promo and then leave, I'm okay with it. Just have him show up for like the first 10 minutes and then, you know, if he wants to, he can leave. I feel like that's a huge difference maker. Just if you have him in there for 10 minutes doing a promo and then just walks away. I feel it makes everything, especially you don't have a champion for Raw and your champion for SmackDown is part-time. And at least when Lesnar was champion, you had a full-time champion. You know, where now you don't have a champion for Raw and then you have a part-time champion for SmackDown. Oh, man, that is a terrible look for the company, man. You look at Dynamite, at fucking AEW, in a way they have two, right? They have the Ring of Honor, Chris Jericho, and Jon Moxley, the fucking AEW champion. And these guys have nobody on Raw and then a fucking part-timer on SmackDown. Anyways, until next time, I'm like a light. I thank you for watching.